what I can call it. In fact, my worry now is what happens, because Raila and William Ruto are supposed to consort and agree on who becomes the chairperson of Iebc. The truth of the matter is the state interfered, okay, to make sure that Koki Muli's name is not forwarded. Unfortunately, the names are to be forwarded as a team, the 9 of them. And I think my friend Weta knows the truth. We are one nation under God. So please don't run to your tribal cocoon and give us that kind of trash. Another question, sir?
Yeah, Steve Otieno.
Yes, Steve. Yeah.
You've been very vocal on the IEBC reconstitution.
Yes, sir.
Last week you made statements. Today, Augustus Muli said he's open to a dialogue with the other party of Ambassador Koki Muli. Do you see this being the way forward in solving the state?
They have wasted a lot of time. Let them withdraw the case that is, I said it, state-sponsored through a judge in Kiambu, user-friendly. Let him remain, or let her remain nameless. But she knows what she has done, because that was a tactic in order to delay the reconstitution of the panel in the first place, and then the IEBC. We demand, Kenyans demand this, and I stand in solidarity with the church organizations who have also said the same. It is, the ball is actually in William Ruto's court to tell his proxies to withdraw. You've just mentioned one of them. Withdraw the matter in the Court of Appeal. And then we can discuss if they're still in Azumio. Yes, sir.
Maybe you can also clarify. Because there are reports that there was an election that was done in the Azumio coalition. Just as Muli garnered 16 votes out of 7. Maybe to confirm if there was an election in the first place to determine who will be presented.
So first of all, an election based on what law? Number one. And number two, even if there was, all right, these matters were canvassed before the judge who had the matter. For example, that Augustus is a young man I know, okay? And I'm always ready to talk to him. It's one of us. But he should not allow himself to be used, because he knows the party he represents does not have one member of parliament, or indeed an MCA, maybe an MCA. Because the law is very clear that it should be parties with representation in parliament, taking into account as well gender. That matter was canvassed before the judge and a ruling issued. That is what they have rushed with the assistance of Kenya Kwanza to appeal. And because National Assembly had 1 week since the matter was adjudicated upon by a judge, Azumio given 48 hours to give a name, which we did within that stipulated time. Therefore, my brother Speaker Wetangula, being the chair of Parliamentary Service Commission, should have acted with that 1 week. But gerrymandering, buying time so they can allow Muli to go to the Court of Appeal, which is what they did. That is the absolute truth. And if Muli as any member of parliament, his party as a member of parliament, then we will also hear. Because that was what was clearly adjudicated. This attempt, therefore, to blame Wiper, to blame me, is completely hogwash, I'm sorry to tell you. It doesn't stand in the face of what is lawful, what the courts have done. And I must congratulate Justice Lenaola for coming out so boldly. We don't expect normally a judge to come as boldly as he did, including during the impeachment process, when even filing system within the judiciary was interfered with by the executive. But those are matters that I think will be dealt with in court.
As a senior political player, what in your reason is the reason why this regime is delaying?
You know, you and I can have coffee and discuss until sunset to try to figure out what could be the legitimate reason. Before, remember, there was a National Dialogue Committee report. which I was privileged to co-chair along with the member for Kikuyu. That NADCO report had 9 pieces of legislation which were supposed to be passed expeditiously in Parliament. In fact, the speed with which they impeached Gachagua could have been employed, I've said that before, to implement the recommendations of NADCO. The appointing authorities were 2, William Ruto and Raila Odinga. I was answerable to Raila Odinga, but we gave the report to both of them. And then one morning, I'm called and told, go to, they are signing the IEBC now, because that one at least went through, yeah, the Amendment Act to IEBC. One would have expected they amend it when they said, okay, we have now signed into law the Amendment Act of IEBC, that they are going now to move with speed. But instead, putting all manner of clogs and showing political bad faith. That is what I can call it. In fact, my worry now is what happens, because Raila and William Ruto are supposed to consort and agree on who becomes the chairperson of IEBC. We made it so easy for my friend Raila Odinga. I hope he can stand strong and act for once in the best interest of Azimio. Because when I last checked, I was still in Azimio. And the leader is Raila Odinga, who appointed me to NADCO. We need to be able now to act in the best interest of this country. This matter of IEBC is the most urgent issue. The people of Banisa constituency lost their member of parliament over a year ago. They're still waiting for a by-election. And others. Why disenfranchise Kenyans? Because of political expedience. But as I said, I invite you, maybe I can share with you some of my thoughts on why the delaying tactics. And if we do that, do not record me and forward to Itumbi. People are desperate, absolutely desperate. Yes, sir. I said, Muli is one of us. He comes from my home county. Yeah, he tried to run for speakership of Kitui. He wasn't successful. I certainly wish him well. And if there's any way I can help him, but let him not be used as a proxy to delay an important national matter. Of course, that recording by Tumbi, which is a strange thing, had to do with, because Augustine Muli went to the office of Junet Mohammed, who is, of course, the secretary. As we speak, the Secretary General of Azimio is Junet Mohammed. And that is the last very important thing up to date Junet has done. Because he forwarded the name of Dr. Koki Muli in accordance with what he had agreed within Azimio. So the name of Koki Muli was agreed upon following the direction of the judge who determined the matter and gave Azimio 48 hours to forward a name. That supersedes what you're talking about, my friend. Who was it who was asking that other question about who may have garnered what votes, whatever? That did not take into account the fact that the national, whatever the party is, yeah, because there are 23 parties, by the way, in Azimio, yeah, but one had to have a parliamentary party. And everybody in this country knows Wiper Democratic Movement is a parliamentary party. And by the way, Professor Adam Solo went in easily because Raila and us that time had agreed on the formula, which formula was messed up by the political party's liaison team. That is the whole story. They liaised, they tried to say, oh no, we want to teach, I don't know who, what lesson. I think a lot of them have since regretted, and we are moving. We want as strong as Azimio. Even if they do not have membership in parliament, there's 2 members of the coalition. But unfortunately, the law stipulates, you have to have at least membership in the House. And this is the clogging. But I'm telling you, the truth of the matter is the state interfered, okay, to make sure that Koki Muli's name is not forwarded. Unfortunately, the names have to be forwarded as a team, the 9 of them. And I think my friend Weta knows the truth. Thank you. I think I've belabored that point. Nashkuruni sana. So my friend, you can go and have a cup of tea. Hey,